Hello, OWL members. I am thrilled to announce this month's Inside the OWL studio will feature RVL Pharmaceuticals, who have recently stepped up to support OWL as a new United sponsor. RVL is an operating subsidiary of Osmotica Pharmaceuticals, and I am really interested to learn how this relatively new company is handling diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Without further delay, I would like to introduce this month's interviewee, Ryan Bleeks, Vice President Sales, Eye Care for RVL. Ryan has been a supporter of OWL for several years, and I believe we actually share a connection in that you are also involved with SightLife as a founding member of their Corporate and Surgeon Partners program. Welcome to Inside the OWL studio, Ryan, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yep, and it's been excellent being an OWL partner at a few different companies here. And yeah, SightLife too, that's such a great organization, but very excited to have this time here with you today.
Awesome, awesome. As you know, the OWL organization continually strives to create networking and educational opportunities to support the mission of advancing diversity and leadership. I find it hugely beneficial to hear from other organizations about their efforts around diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So with that being said, I am very excited to hear from you about RVL initiatives in this area.
Yeah, well, again, thank you. You know, I think not only we try to, at RVL, value the employees and patients, but we also recognize, you know, the diverse and vibrant communities that all of us come from that I think really shapes who we are. But we're always committed here to, you know, continuing to build an environment of inclusivity, you know, whenever and however we can. And I think that means working together, you know, challenging each other to consider different types of ideas. And I think, as always, really just acting with your heart. And, you know, to that note, I think that, you know, equity and diversity is integral to, you know, who we are as a society. And these precious freedoms, you know, there are people that fought to provide these rights for us. And I really do believe in, you know, it's up to us to continue doing those things. And freedom of expression is really important. I'll talk a little bit about that here at RVL. You know, first off, I just believe it starts at the top. I mean, you know, our CEO as well as our COO, you know, they live and breathe these concepts. And that's really paramount, because if it starts at the very top with your leadership, I think that just floods through the organization. And we're really fortunate here at RVL that that's how we conduct business. You know, as an industry, I think our industry's really benefited and seen the benefits of equality and diversity. And I think by leveraging all the different unique skill sets and talents, you know, whether it's scientists, analysts, you know, we've really benefited from that. And I don't think a successful business can be built without having just all those different walks of life, different ideas. It's just really important. In fact, that's a big reason why I did come over here to RVL. Once again, I mean, our CEO and COO, I just love the concepts of the diversity, inclusion, belonging. That's just how they operate. It's just what we do. But even our product, Upneek, it's just different, you know, first in class, and we're building a market that never existed. And we would not be able to do that if everybody looked the same, thought the same. You know, we have to have all of those different ideas and you know, walks of life, and just diversity. And so a company like this is probably more reliant even maybe than some other organizations. So you know, and here at RVL, I think that, you know, if we see situations that threaten this type of equality, you know, we've got to stand up, we've got to act, and, you know, the responsibility, it's on everybody, and we have to stay true to that. But, you know, we're also, as an organization, we make sure nobody faces any type of discrimination in the workforce. It's really important. You know, regardless of what your level is or your position, it's important that your ideas and perspectives are heard. So one of the things to answer your question that I always do, and I've done at other organizations as well, I love interviewing, every single sales professional that's thinking about joining our family. And, aside from our regional sales directors, district sales managers, I think a lot of the sales professionals like that. And I feel like if I'm setting that tone early, I want them to know that we're a very flat organization. My phone is always on. And I tell them, I like to hear from you guys frequently. And if there's an idea or something that we're missing, let's talk. So I think setting that tone early is really important. And I'll tell you, a lot of people take me up on that regularly. And I love that, just part of the culture. I always get asked the question, tell me about the culture at RVL. And that's one of the things that I really do share and talk about, because it's real. It's not just, talking the talk, but myself and the regional sales directors, our CEO, vice president of marketing, that's just how we conduct business. So, and I think on a broader level, RVL has an unequivocal commitment to fighting against racial and social injustice in our communities. And, we've seen a lot of things these past couple of years, and I think this is a great organization that's committed to those concepts. Also working tirelessly just to celebrate and leverage our diverse workforce. And the other thing, and I think I've heard you say this before, listen, I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer, and I like to listen to others, other things that other people are doing and, deploying. That's really, really important. And I have the confidence, as long as most organizations are living to that and staying true, I like where we're going. But that's really important, because I don't have all of the answers. In a lot of business decisions, my 3 regional sales directors, I rarely make a decision without bouncing ideas off of them. And, I know they're not going to tell me something I just want to hear, and they're comfortable knowing they can tell me things that I don't want to hear, because it's important. So, we're a smaller organization, under 200 employees, but we're evolving and looking for different ways that we can get better. Of course, we also partner with the Women in Ophthalmology. I had the pleasure of being at Amelia Island this year. It's such a great organization as well. And we're also, there's a good group of our senior female sales leaders. They've just joined the OWL group, and they're really looking forward to the summit in Newport Beach coming up. But just recently, they've begun having think tanks, and we're looking at our organization from the inside out to just make sure we're continuing to do the right things. And I really appreciate them for spearheading that. But again, always looking for different ways to improve, and I think that's really the most important part, is being open to hearing all the different ideas.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I don't think anyone has all the answers. And I think, 2 things that you've said that really hit home to me are, one, the idea of diversity in your organization and how that can only make things better, improve innovation, whether that be in product development, sales, marketing, it's all there. And I really love the fact that you are perpetuating and promoting within the organization openness, dialoguing, and creating a safe space for people to maybe have some difficult conversations, but know, hey, this is okay. This is what we want to do to improve. So kudos to you, and also for kind of, supporting organizations like WIO and OWL, because I do believe the eye care industry needs these organizations to continue to lead, different programs and initiatives around diversity, inclusion, and belonging. So thank you again for supporting us. But I think, that this has been fantastic. I think we can move on to our fun questions, Ryan.
All right.
Here. So for you, what is your favorite word in eye care?
Actually, you used it a second ago. It's innovation. I've been out of eye care, I believe 1 year over the past 18. And one of the really cool things about eye care and ophthalmology is the innovation. And I'm not sure it's quite at the level in other specialties, but I mean, just think of all of the Congress meetings that take place. I love that the ophthalmologists, I mean, they really like being with one another and collaborating to give better medicine, to the community. Yeah. And a big part of that is having innovation. And again, which only comes from having diversity and a bunch of different ways of thinking. But it's something that's always stuck out in my mind with ophthalmology, is just how big and important innovation is. And honestly, I've got readers now, and I'm really looking forward, right? I know we've got some presbyopia drops on the horizon.
Yeah.
Really excited to see those hit the market, speaking of innovation. So that's just the one thing that always, it comes to mind really quick when I think of ophthalmology.
On the flip side of that, what is your least favorite word in eye care?
So I don't know if I would even, it's not really tied to eye care, but it can be. And I see it sometimes in my day-to-day. That's laziness. It's just a pet peeve of mine. There's so many things that are out of our control every single day. But choosing to be lazy or not, we have full control over that. And I know my kids are tired of hearing me talk about that, but man, I just preach that with them in athletics and school. You need to be trying and giving your best. When you wake up every single morning, there's a lot of things that you can't control, but laziness is one of those. And so,
yes.
I think there's a lot of different aspects in ophthalmology and life that could creep into. And I guess that's one of those pet peeves of mine that I don't have a super high tolerance for. So laziness.
I appreciate that. And I bet you money parents watching this are clapping.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. What professional role in eye care, besides the one you have now, would you like to attempt, and why?
Yeah, I actually think being a cataract surgeon, and the reason why, just over 17 years, I've had the opportunity to sit in and observe on so many excellent, wonderful surgeons. And again, the innovation that I've seen over the years, the new techniques, the new products, the new equipment, it's just fantastic. And I've seen quite a few cataract surgeries, and yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool if I could go back in time and maybe do a few cataract surgeries. But I would say if any of your family members were coming to have surgery under my hands, they would definitely need to think twice about that. So I wasn't blessed with the most steady hand, so it probably wouldn't work out.
But you can dream, right?
I can dream.
Yeah. Yes. What role would you not want to attempt, and why?
I would say probably the scientists, which are, oh my gosh, so critical to all this innovation. They're amazing, but I just don't think it's in my DNA. I don't think I could be in the lab. I've got to be out there, out and about, and I think I'd struggle. I'd have a hard time being in the lab like that. But all the respect in the world to them.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could do any one thing to contribute to diverse leadership in eye care, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that it got me really thinking back to like what molded me over my career, and having great mentors was the one thing that kept coming up in my mind. And I've been very fortunate. I've had some great folks that have given me excellent advice over the years. And I'll tell you, I remember being in leadership years and years ago at ISTA Pharmaceuticals, and a lot of practices I went into, it was like, hey, how old are you? You know, I always felt like I was kind of the younger person, and, you know, how fast that changes. Nobody asks that of me anymore. And I actually find myself, you know, being that type of a mentor, and, you know, the mentorship is really important. So I think that's something that I would like to really, and I feel like I have done and am doing. And a lot of these values we're talking about today, you know, that's a great opportunity for me to pass those along to some of the new folks that are, you know, up and coming in the industry, because I was really fortunate. My mentors provided those for me.
Yeah, I love that. We'll have to talk to you about our fellows program that we have at OWL.
Yeah, I'd love that.
If you'd be interested. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Here is your surprise question, Ryan. If you were a cartoon character, which one would you be and why?
Oh man. I'm trying to think. It's been a little while since I've seen. How about Stewie from Family Guy? I don't have a great reason other than how cool is it a 1-year-old talks like an adult, never ages. I don't know. It's the first one that popped in my mind.
That's awesome. I love it. That's great. Well, that's really all I have for you today, Ryan. But thank you so much for your support and your time today. And we'll definitely be in touch with you on our fellows program. I think that might be something really interesting for you to be involved.
Well, I'd like that. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.